The journey of the Soviet Union began after the Russian Revolution of 1917. In 1922, the Soviet Union was formally established under the leadership of Vladimir Lenin. At that time, the Soviet Union was the largest communist empire in the world, whose reign lasted until approximately 1970. In the early 1990s, the Soviet Union collapsed under the leadership of Mikhail Gorbachev. With the fall of the communist empire, approximately 15 independent states were born from Soviet territory. The root causes of the Soviet Union's collapse lay in various political, economic, and social factors. At that time, the Soviet economy weakened due to military expenditures. 30% of Soviet Russia's national income was spent on the military sector. Due to excessive military spending, the per capita income of the country's population declined. In addition, the forced collectivization of agriculture brought the suffering of farmers to an extreme level. Since the Communist Party had complete control over the state economy, various crises emerged at the administrative level. The extreme centralization across all areas of administration led to laziness, aversion to hard work, and irresponsibility, dragging the country toward ruin. At that time, wrong decisions in the economy and industrial sector led to a crisis in the agricultural industry. The use of unscientific methods in agriculture reduced crop production capacity, causing people to become financially unstable. It is said that one of the main reasons for the Soviet collapse was interference in social and cultural matters. At that time, freedom of thought and expression was suppressed, from great philosophers to poets, writers, and even scientists. Anyone who dared to criticize the Communist Party was forced to leave the country. The internal conflicts among Soviet Communist Party leaders weakened the party. In 1988, the Soviet Communist Party split into two factions. Boris Yeltsin, Alexander, and Eduard Shevardnadze, among others, put forward a proposal at the 28th Party Congress to transform the Communist Party into a democratic party. Taking advantage of that opportunity, various constituent states began to destabilize the Soviet Federation. Furthermore, during World War I, the world's major powers were Britain, France, and Germany. At that time, Russia was not militarily very powerful. Understanding the situation, Lenin organized the Bolshevik Revolution in 1917. Meanwhile, Lenin transferred control of Eastern European states, including Poland, the Baltic republics, Finland, and Ukraine, to Germany through a peace treaty with Germany, the leading partner of the Triple Alliance. Even a large part of the Caucasus region was handed over to Turkey. When the White Army started a civil war in Siberia, British, French, and American troops were sent to Russia. Then in 1918, after the German forces were defeated in World War I, a portion of their military strength was partially directed toward the Russian Civil War. When World War I ended in 1918, the Allied powers annulled the Russo-German Treaty. As a result, Ukraine, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Georgia, Belarus, and other countries were forcibly occupied to form Soviet republics. On the other hand, forming Soviet republics in the Baltic region, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, was not so easy because independent states had been established in these regions after the Russian Revolution.